Negative acceleration, and this is deceleration. Whenever we ask this question to you, I think most of the time this answer comes to your mind that negative acceleration, this is deceleration. But is it always true? About that today we are going to discuss. So without wasting time, let's start today's discussion. So here is your acceleration and deceleration. We all know what is acceleration. A is equal to delta V over delta T. That means change in velocity over change in time. So now first we will discuss about the relation between V and A with figure. Okay. So first let's draw the car. Suppose we have a car. Maybe we have Maruti Suzuki or whatever you like. So this is your car. And this car has the velocity along positive x-axis. Okay. If we consider the velocity along positive x-axis. Okay. So this is your velocity. And also here the acceleration is also along x-axis. So this is your acceleration. This is your acceleration A. That means due to the acceleration, the velocity here changes from v1 to v2. And here v2 is greater than v1. That means the velocity here increases. Now since velocity is along positive x-axis, that means velocity here is positive, that is plus v. So similarly, acceleration also would be positive. Okay, there is no confusion between them. Now you see that suppose the same car is now moving along negative x-axis. The car is here and the velocity is along your negative x-axis. This is your velocity along negative x-axis. Therefore, here the velocity would be negative and here acceleration is also along negative x-axis. That means both are in same direction. Okay, this is your acceleration. So due to the acceleration, again the velocity will change from v1 minus v1 to minus v2. But here actually the minus sign indicates only the direction of the axis. Direction of the axis. But here also v1 is greater than v2, means magnitude is always, sorry, it would be v2 greater than v1. v2 greater than v1. That means magnitude increases, but negative sign only indicates the negative x-axis. Okay. So here velocity here is negative. Also the acceleration is also negative. Now here you see, though the acceleration is negative, but it is not deceleration. It is here that negative sign indicates only the direction of the axis. But here the acceleration always has the tendency to increase the velocity of the car along negative x-axis. Along negative x-axis, okay? That means negative acceleration means not always that this is deceleration. Whenever velocity and acceleration acts along the same direction, then acceleration will have the tendency to increase the velocity. Okay, then it will be acceleration. This is not deceleration. Now this is your case 1, suppose, and this is your case 2. Okay, now let's go to the case 3. Now here see, again we have this Maruti Suzuki car we have. Okay, now here also the velocity acts along this positive x direction. Positive x direction. The velocity here is positive, but in this case the acceleration acts in opposite of it, means in opposite direction. That means in negative x-axis. Negative x-axis. So here what happens here actually, that the acceleration and velocity both acts in opposite direction. Due to that, though velocity changes from v1 to v2, but here ultimately what happens, that v1 here is less than v2. Why? Because acceleration acts in opposite of it, na? So that's why the velocity v1 here is less than v2. That means velocity decreases. So here this is negative acceleration and this is called deceleration. So what we have understood from here, that deceleration is a special condition of acceleration. Deceleration is nothing but the special condition of acceleration where this acts opposite of the velocity. So then it would be called deceleration. Clear? So I hope it is clear to you that whenever we have the negative sign before acceleration, that is not always deceleration. Whenever acceleration acts opposite of the velocity, then it will be called as your deceleration, and then also there would be negative sign before the value of it. Okay. Now I hope this concept is clear to you, and it would be more clear when we will apply it on your numerical. So without wasting time, let's go to the numerical. So here is your 15th numerical from your AC Verma. A train starts from rest. Rest means u is equal to 0. Moves with a constant acceleration. That means a is equal to 2 meter per second square for half a minute. Okay. That means time is equal to 30 seconds. To consider it as case 1. Case 1. Because after that the brakes are then applied. So we will go to it later on. In case 1, you consider it as U1, A1, T1. That will be helpful for you. So here, this is for case 1. Now, the brakes are then applied. Okay, let's do one thing. First, draw a figure. So this is your train. This is your train. And then, it is moving towards this direction up to this point. Okay. And this is your train, which is here. Suppose this is your point A, suppose this is your point B. And this distance was traveled within T1, the value is given, and after that brakes applied. Okay. So therefore first we will do one thing. We know U1 but we don't know V1. So let's calculate V1. So how QAT, everything is given. So how we can calculate V1? V is equal to U plus AT. Very simple kinematic equation. V1 is equal to U1 plus A1T. So since U1 is equal to, so A1 into T gives you 60 meter per second. That is your V1. After that what happens? That the brakes are then applied and the train comes to rest. That means the final velocity would be here 0 because it is ultimately at rest. So this is your train which is at rest. That means V2 is equal to 0. Now here see that V1 is equals to 60. That means see that at the point B the brakes are then applied. That means after that it starts its new journey with new velocity which is U2. That is V1 is equal, U2 is equal to, you have 60 meter per second. And the final velocity V2 is equal to here 0. So here we have to find out the total distance. Total distance means if this is your BC point, that means we have to calculate AC. AC is equal to what? Now here you see that AC is equal to AB plus BC is equal to AC. So we have to find AB, BC. Okay. Now here you see that since V1 here in case 1 all we know. So we have to calculate here AB. That means the distance. So AB we have to find out. Suppose is equal to S1. Okay. So how we can calculate? V1 square is equal to U1 square plus 2AS1. U1 is 0. So you put the values of them, that is 2A1. A1 we have the value 2. So you put it here 2S1 and V1 square is equal to 60 square. So you put the values in your calculator. The final value of S1 is equals to 60 multiplied with 60. over 2 multiplied with 2, that is 30, here 30, here you are getting 900 meter. This is the value of your AB. We got the value of AB. So one job is done. Next, we have to calculate BC. So how? Here you see that in case 2, suppose this is your case 2. In case 2, what's the values? What are the values? U2 is equal to 60 and V2 is equal to 0 with the unit meter per second. And T2 is also known to you, that is 1 minute. I think T2 is 1 minute, right? That means 60 seconds. You also do with me, okay? Take your pen and paper and please do the calculation on your paper also. Okay, T2 is equals to 60 seconds. Now you do the calculation, that is here we don't know A2, that means deceleration value we don't know. So you put the values in the kinematic equation, again V is equal to U plus CT, we all know this kinematic equation. So V2 is equal to U2 plus A2T. Now you put the values, V2 is equal to 0, U2 is equal to, here we have 60. So you put the values of it, 60 plus A2 multiplied with, if this is your T2, then what's the value of T2? 60. If you do the calculation, you see you are getting it as -1 meter per second square. Now I think we can calculate BC. That means by the relation, that is V2 square is equal to U2 square plus 2A2 S2. Okay. So here V2 square is equal to 0. We know U2 square equals to 60 square plus 2 multiplied with A2 means -1. We have S2. So you calculate it. S2 is equal to what you are getting, 60 multiplied with 60 over, you have 2. That means 230. You are getting as 1800 meter. So this is the value of S2. S2 means BC. Now I think now we are able to find out the total distance, that is AC. AC is equal to, we have AB plus BC. Now we have the value of AB, that is 900. So 900 plus 1800 meter is equal to 2700 meter. So this is the answer of the total distance. If you convert it to Kimi, then 2.7 kilometer. This is the answer of the first one. First one, A. Okay. Now the maximum speed attained by the train. Maximum speed obviously 60 meter per second. 60 meter per second. The last one, the positions of the train at half the maximum speed. Well, this is very important to understand. If you go to the figure, let me use another color. You see that if this is your, at this point of B, we have the maximum velocity, that is 60, right? Now, if I consider this point, suppose as your P, okay, P, this point is P. At this point P, suppose from 0, this train started its journey. So suppose at this point B, we had the half of the maximum speed, that is 30 meter per second, okay, at this point. So we have to find out the positions, that means AP. AP we have to find out first. Also, you see that after 60 meter per second, it again went to the velocity 0. That means also, suppose at this point P prime, from 60, it goes to 30. That means also we have to find out P prime. That means AP prime. AP prime position also you have to know. So ultimately, in a nutshell, if I say we have to calculate AP first, the position, and AP prime also. Okay. So these two, one we have to know. So how we can get it? You see that V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Okay. So if I write it as V1 square is equal to U1 square plus 2AS1. S1. Okay. S1 here is suppose AP. Okay, S1 is equal to AP. Now you put the values of them. You see E1 was 0 if you remember, and V1 was 60 square, right? But here the V1 is not 60 because you see that since here the velocity we are considering as 30, up to 30 we have to calculate. So instead of V1, instead of 60, here we will write it here as 30. We will write it as here 30 square. 30 square is equal to 0 plus 2. A1 we know, A1 was the value was I think 2, right? 2 multiplied with 2. S1 we have to calculate, okay? That means AP. So S1 is equal to 30 multiplied with 30 over 2 cross 2, okay? That means 15 square, right? 225 meter, okay? This is the answer of AP. That means the first one is solved. Okay. The last one, AP prime. This is the last. Okay. AP prime, how to calculate? Again, we will apply the same relation. That is, we have V2 square is equal to U2 square plus 2A2 S2. Here V2 is equal to 0, right? U2 squared is equal to, okay, this is not 0. Again, we are doing the same thing. This is not 0. This is your like 30 square. Let me explain it again if it is not clear to you. Let's go to the figure. We are calculating the distance at this point, right? So what we will do? Here you see that the initial velocity is 60, from which it starts its journey from the point of B. And at the point of P prime, we have 30. This is not 0, this is 30. Okay? 0 was at the first case, but now we have to calculate up to P prime, so it is 30. So V2 is here 30. 30 square is equal to 60 square plus 2 multiplied with A2 we know minus 1, but S2 we have to calculate. So S2 is equal to, we have 60 square minus 30 square over 2. Okay. 60 square means 36, 3600 minus 900 over 2. So here it is equal to, we have 0, 0. Here 16 minus 9, we have 7. And here we have 2 over 2. That means 1350 meter. Right? So this is the value of S2. S2 means what? S2 means BP prime. But we have to calculate AP prime. Right? That means BP prime is this. Okay? BP prime we have, but we have to calculate AP prime is equal to, we have AB plus BP prime. Now AB, the value we already have calculated, that is your 900 plus 1350 is equal to, if you add them, then you are getting as, you have 2250, okay, meter. That means 2.25 kilometer. So this is the answer of AP prime and this is the answer of AP. These are the two distance of the train at half the maximum speed. So I hope this problem is clear to you. Now let's go to the next numerical. So here is the 17th numerical from your SC Verma. A bullet problem we are going to do. Bullet going with speed 350 meter per second. That means speed U or U is given, okay, 350 meter per second. Enters a concrete wall, okay, that means if I draw it, this is your concrete wall, okay, a bullet is here which is going and penetrates a distance 5 centimeter into this wall. So this is your 5 centimeter. Okay, before coming to rest, that means the final velocity v is here 0 and the initial velocity e is 350. It is very easy. Before, find the deceleration. Okay, that means what we know, u we know, v also we know, and here s is equal to 5 centimeter. So you convert it to meter, which is 0.05 meter. Okay. Now we have to calculate the deceleration, which is a. So I think now we already have understood which formula we have to apply. Kinematic equation, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Right? Now s, you put the values, that is 0, u is 350, 350 square plus 2 multiplied with a multiplied with s. That means 0.05. Okay. So you have to calculate a is equal to 350 square minus over here we have 2 multiplied with 0.05. Now this is your job to do the calculation. You must let me know the answer of the deceleration in the comment section. Okay, this is very easy, but just let me do the nutshell. That is, whenever a bullet is given and which penetrates the wall, you always remember that after some time it will come to a rest and the final velocity would be 0. Okay, and here we have the initial velocity and you have to just think that which kinematic equation we can apply, that we have to here understand, and that's the bullet problem you have to solve. This is the last numerical, उसके बाद छुट्टी है. ठीक है, 20th numerical from your AC Verma. The car model is given, suppose A. Again we consider the car model, suppose we have Maruti Suzuki. Okay, and here the deceleration for the car model A, the deceleration is given. Okay, we already know what is deceleration, and already 2 numericals we already have done, so I think we have the clear idea about it. So deceleration A is 6 meter per second square. Up to this we don't have any problem. So here first you see that we have driver X. Okay, and reaction time is given, that means t is equal to 0.2 second. Now you may think that what is that reaction time? Let me explain it. Reaction time means, suppose you have the driver here, okay, and it applies some brake. So the time which is required by the driver to apply the brake, that time which is required to apply the brake, that is called your reaction time. So reaction time, again I am telling that it is the time required to apply the brake, that is called your reaction time. Clear? So now here you see that speed is given. Okay, speed is u is equal to, here speed is 54 km per hour. That means we have to convert to meter per second. So 54 multiplied with 5 over 18, it is 3, gives you 15 meter per second. After that, braking distance we have to calculate. That means first we have to calculate the braking distance. Braking distance, suppose is B for braking distance. We have to calculate. So means after giving the brake, how much, means what's the distance, okay, traveled by the driver, okay, or by the car, that we have to calculate. So how? You see that ATU, everything is given. Now you have to calculate S. So if we here use the relation, that is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Okay. So the value of u is here given as your 15 square, and the final velocity is obviously you have 0, and plus 2 multiplied with a, the value of a is already given, that is 6, and s, this is not s, actually sb. So if you do the calculation, then SB is equal to 15 multiplied with 15 over 12. Yeah. So if you do the calculation, here you are getting it as 18.75, which is equal to 19 meter. Okay, this is the answer of SB. That means the braking distance, which is SB, which is equal to A. Okay, this is the braking distance. Now next one, we have to calculate the total stopping distance. Now here I will explain what is that stopping distance. First, the definition of stopping distance is what? Stopping distance is equal to distance traveled by the car in that reaction time. Okay, distance in reaction time, I'm writing in short way, reaction time, distance in reaction time plus braking distance. Okay, braking distance. So braking distance we already have SB, that is 19 meter. We don't have any problem. But what is the distance in reaction time? See that if you have, suppose that train, okay, and in this train we have that driver. So the driver applies the brake, but before that, for giving the brake, for applying the brake, it requires 0.2 second time. So up to that 0.2 second, what was the velocity of it? What was the velocity of this train? That is nothing but 15 meter per second, right? So 15 meter per second was the velocity up to 0.2 second. That means the total distance traveled in that reaction time is nothing but 15, obviously 15 multiplied with 0.2 with the 19, okay, 19. So this is giving you 3 plus 20 means 19. 19 gives you total 22 meter. So this is the total distance or the total stopping distance, okay, and this is the answer of the braking distance. So this, in this similar way, you can calculate it for driver Y, for car B, for driver X, driver Y. Similar way, okay. You just follow this way and you calculate all the values, that is C, D, E, F, G and H. So students, it's time to talk with you. Are you practicing all the numericals, whatever we are doing on a regular basis in this channel? I have firm belief that you do practice. Trust me, it will really help you to make your physics easy. And if you have any problem at any point, then you must let me know. You can let me know through comment section. You can send me message through a phone number which is given in the description box. Also, you can send message through Instagram. But you must let me know your problem. I will really try to help you. And one more request, that if you think that this effort helps you to make your physics easy, then you please subscribe my channel. Take care. Bye.